Today I want to talk about white oak and just give you an idea of where our white oak comes from, what kind of dimensions it's available in, what grades we have, how it takes stain differently. Most of the white oak we get from 3 to 4 suppliers. Most of those suppliers we've been working with for over 20 years, and they range where they are from Western Pennsylvania up through into Northern New York, where we get some of our character grade white oak. What we have down today is 8-inch heirloom grade white oak. The most popular combination is definitely our heirloom grade in the engineered format. What we have down here is an unfinished floor of heirloom grade. And the first thing you'll notice is that there's a little bit of color variation in the floor. You can see over here we have a darker board right next to a lighter board with some more medium tones in the middle. And the way I look at this floor is that this is a good representation of the color spread that you're gonna see. You're gonna get about 10 to 20% of the floor that's a little bit darker. You'll probably get another 10% of the floor that's a little bit lighter, but a vast majority of the floor is gonna be in this middle tone. We actually work really hard to maintain what we consider to be a beautiful variance in the wood. It really is a way to preserve the natural story of the timber. And if you don't want that type of variation, there's other solutions. You can obviously stain the floor a little bit darker and things like that. The other thing that you'll see here in the heirloom grade is that you do get occasional signs of the timber character from the original timber. You can see we have some mineral streaking here. We have some mineral marks here. Back under this board, there's a small knot. Here's another small knot. So you're gonna get some character in the heirloom grade, but the way I describe it overall is that it is a much cleaner, more refined grade than what you see obviously in the original grade. You'll see here there's very little to no sap. You will get occasional sap coming in on the edge of the board. Actually, here's some sap. Here's some more sap up here. It really isn't a focus of the floor. It blends in quite nicely. The other grades that we offer, we do have an original grade, which you see here. And what that's gonna add is obviously some more of these solid sound knots in the floor. They may have some slight checking in them. And we also get more of the mineral streaking color variation that you see here. And there might be a little bit more variation in color from board to board. This isn't as popular of a grade as our heirloom grade, but when you combine these two, you use half our heirloom grade and half our original grade, you end up with what we call a signature grade. So picture a board that's really clean and clear next to a board with this type of character spread throughout your whole floor. You really see the full life of the timber, and that's a very popular grade for us as well. One of the reasons I think white oak is so popular is because of its very neutral tone, especially today. More of those very light white washes, very neutral organic colors are very popular. This doesn't have any finish on it, but if you put a clear finish on it, this would be the color, and you can see it's a good backdrop for kind of any style that you may have going on. You can easily accessorize it. I also think that it takes stain very well, and it is somewhat timeless. It's not like some floors that may come in and be a fad for a while, and then 10 years from now they go away. Even if you change your overall style, the backdrop of the floor is still gonna fit pretty well with whatever you choose. So I laid out some of our more popular stain colors. This is picture frame, which is just a very light whitewash. This is a more traditional amber versus a clear finish, and you can see that it gives it more of an oiled look. And then obviously you can see here, this is one of our layered looks where we have a darker color in the background and a lighter color in the grain. This is really achieved by brushing the floor first. Some of our other more popular colors here, medium browns and grays. I think one thing to notice sometimes is how this is a smooth floor. It is not brushed, but when using a very traditional medium brown stain, it can soak into the open grain a little bit more and give you that contrasted effect here, where you have lighter wood where the pigments did not absorb as much and darker wood where the pigments absorbed more. So it's going to create a little bit more grain contrast than the lighter colors do.